What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Mark Local, black belt under Marcelo Garcia, 5-time world champion, Big Us. Guys, in today's lesson, I'm gonna be focused on a back escape for white belt. So for beginners, or maybe even for a high level in a color belt, but focus on the white belt, brand new. They struggle a little bit how to escape from the back. So I'm gonna show you guys 3 ways how you deal with the back escape. It's very similar, so it's very easy to get confused. So make sure you watch to the end and get to drill that, okay? We're gonna go here. Matt's gonna be on my back, so start right here. Things to understand right here. Which side he wants to be. Grab his belt. So he wants to be on the side that the arm is over the shoulder. Okay, and I'm gonna show you guys 2 ways to the 2 sides. I want it to be on my left where my shoulder is showing up. Okay, so that's how we start off. So for example, let's pick this side right here where should be the hardest side to escape. Why? Because this arm is over my shoulder. Okay, so now let's think about right here. The arm that's over my shoulder, that's pretty much one arm that can choke you. So what I want to do here, if Matt start work, the hook's right there. So understand how my hands management. My priority here is not even escape. My priority here is not get tapped. That's my #1 concern. I don't want to get tapped. Okay. So let's do it here. If I try to, a lot of people try to take the hook out and leave the neck open. Okay. So keep eyes on your neck. So which hand marker should I put on to protect? I like to go on the near side hands with this arm. Okay, I like to hold this these hands right here with this arm that's showing up. Why this arm? Because this arm is hard to clean up his leg. Okay, so that means this arm have a job of like a C grip, hold the arm that he's gonna choke me. Okay, so now this hand, you guys can see I can easy reach for for Matt's leg. So let's go for escape #1 right here, which I like the most. I don't like to use my hand. I like to use hip movement. So right now my hip are kind of squared up with his hip. So pay attention. My toes on the mat. Now look what's gonna happen with his hook. I want to turn my hip. I want to keep my toes on the mat and I want to turn my hip in. When I turn my hip in like flat facing the ceiling, now Matt cannot put the hook back. So try to put the hook back. So now I'm weight on the bottom leg. Okay? So look what I'm gonna do now. #1 here, I wanna start moving. Before I hop my hip over, I wanna bring my foot right on top. So my foot gonna go right on top of this foot. So what I can do, I can use my arm, bring my foot right on the outside of his leg. Now I'm gonna bring this foot towards inside. So now this hook never gonna go this way. Now keep my leg really tight. I wanna hop my hip over to the mat. Once I have to the mat, I really wanna get here. But Matt still have the seat belt. Okay? So let's play with fire right here. If Matt, for example, goes, but a lot of people ask, but Marco, he can still choke you? Yes, he can still choke you. So if Matt go for the collar choke, for example, right here, look what I'm gonna do. He still have this hand goes right on his elbow. Now I wanna move my hip down, and I wanna, if Matt start pulling, I'm gonna tap. So look at my head placement right here. My head gonna start sinking under. Once my head is under, so now if Matt start pulling, he lost my head. What am I gonna do? I can start turning. If Matt start coming up, I wanna use frames to square up and get to my guard or come on top, okay? So priority here is not get tapped. So #1 here, I wanna go with this grip right there. Going to this side, okay? So now what I gotta do here, turn my hip in, there. So now tuck this foot here, bring your foot outside. Now I'm gonna hop my hip outside. Now, if Matt starts choking with the collar choke right here, okay, too easy to pull, look what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use these hands, and now I'm gonna separate my head. I'm gonna take my head down this way. Now he lost the head, he's gonna start coming up. With my frame you're gonna start building up guard, okay? That's detail number one. Now let's go for the escape number two right here, okay? I'm gonna go into this side, okay? I'm gonna go on this side. Now the arm change. So now this arm, look, now I can reach for both, but my priority don't get tapped. Same thing. I wanna use this grip right here. Now my hip chain here. Now my foot goes outside, wipe his leg in. Now how I'm gonna go here? Matt this time he cannot choke me here because my aim. So now detail number two is gonna be my head. So now Matt's head is under mine, which he can start move the other way. So my head gonna go under, okay, under his head. Now from here, what I wanna do, I wanna keep turning my hip. And now look, now my kind of like one shoulder's on the mat, second shoulder's gonna go. So very important. So detail number two, I wanna bring my both shoulders on the mat. So how I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start, keep seat belt. I wanna start moving my shoulder, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Once both shoulders touch the mat, it's pretty much it. So now, this case, Matt's gonna give up on the back because he lost my shoulder, which when he comes up, I wanna keep pushing. Always land with feet on the hip, okay? So the escape number two, we're gonna escape to this side, but what keeps this, what Matt keeps the back is the head. So I wanna control the arm, go to my side. Now I wanna turn my hip. Now my head goes down. Okay, on escape number two, you need to focus your shoulders on the mat, not just one because one's shoulder up fast. This one also. So how I'm gonna do is walk. Now it's easy to go that way. So now once my shoulders on the mat, my back is safe. Now from here, when he's let go, the seat belt to come up, I push, feet on the hip, and then I'm safe. Okay. So when you go for the number one, priority choke, just turn the hip, move the hip outside, but your shoulder's locked. He goes for the choke, you free the choke, okay? Detail number, the sequence number two, he goes to the, I force to the side where my shoulders comes in. So now I go my hip and I focus on my shoulders on the mat and they just walk in. So on the second one, you kind of bridge and keep your hip. So when I go here, so secure, this arm is always here, turn my hip, which combined with the first one, foot outside. Now my head go. Now from here, it's very important, my hip has to be up, like a big bridge, okay? If I collapse, my shoulder comes off the mat, you see it? So I really wanted to load my weight into my shoulders, walk, 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 now I'm free. I only feel comfortable when both shoulders on the mat. Okay, so that's gonna be detail number two. Now let's move on to the detail number three. So before we move on into the detail number three, so just keep in mind, it's a very good reminder here. Even happens with me before in a tournament when I was a white belt. So no joke, I was winning by like, I still remember, I think it was 17 or 17-0, something like that. And I was in the person's back and the person crossed the feet, okay? So it's very good reminder right here. When Matt has my back, okay? Especially for you, the white belts, okay? So there's a nasty injury right here where he has my back, I'm looking for the escape, okay? And then he crossed the feet, okay? So before we move on to the detail number three, I like to bring this up. So when I go to either side, really, I would take is bring my leg over, so my foot goes right over, and then once I lock right here, I can even lock my figure four. Now Matt cannot unlock his feet, which if I extend like a hip forward, he hurts his knee really bad. Tap is not the worst case. The worst case, get hurt in the knees, okay? So when he push right here, it's very painful, so get a very, I don't even know how to call this submission. It's like benefits of cross the feet. You don't score points if your legs cross. If in a tournament side, you cannot score points. You have to put it right here. Plus, you can get hurt really bad. So make sure when someone's in your back or when you're in someone's back, don't cross your feet. It's a very bad habit that sometimes happens a lot, even the collar belt, believe it or not, the person really want to take the back and then they lock to secure the back, okay? Remember, seat belt, trust in seat belt. The best way to do a good job in the back management, training the seat belt control, okay? So please do not cross your feet when when you're in someone's back, or remind someone when you're in your back, so don't cross the feet, okay? Just keep eyes on that, okay? So let's move on to detail number 3, which is pretty much everything combined with each other. So now it's up to you to pay attention. But if you pay attention, how to don't get tapped, how to free your hip and keep his seat belt in a range of where he gonna choke, you're safe. So now detail number 3 requires each side, really, you can apply for each side. So let's go for this side, for example. I'm gonna go to this side here. Now my seat grip goes on this seat belt, okay? On the arm that over my shoulder. So look what I'm gonna do. I wanna turn my hip in just to take a little bit power of his hook. Now this one, I wanna go here inside, okay? So now I'm still holding his wrist with like a C grip right here. Now this one gonna go hold my wrist, where now I'm gonna put a lot of pressure on his seat belt, okay? So now what you can do here, you can go this side and then turn and then try pass this arm over. Now I can go either side. I can start going this way, turn, maybe end up in a guard or maybe end up outside. As long as Matt's seat belt's not over my shoulder, I can be mobile. So for example, I'm here, seat grip on a seat belt that's gonna choke you. Turn my hip in, my hand dig it in, break this grip, okay? So when this arm is right here, all I have to do is push this arm to this side where my hand goes over. I can just try face, and then from here hug, and then pass, okay? Or let's go to the other side. Let's give it options also to the other side. Priority right here, move to this side. Now my hip goes here, but this time I'm a little bit stuck, okay? If I lean to my shoulder that his hands are in, so what I'm gonna do, same thing, seat grip on the wrist, bring my hands in and break the seat belt. Now pass the arm over to this side. Now it's a lot easier to spin inside and back into the guard. So as long as my neck are safe, really, I can start working on my hip, and that gives Matt a hard time on the back escape, which can be very helpful. As long as you understand what the person needs to stay on your back, which I learned from my professor Marcelo, what keeps the back is on the hooks, is the seat belt. If you break the seat belt and start moving your hip around, it's gonna be a lot easier. Which a lot of people, when they take the hook out, but the seat belt is very tight, they can still replace. For example, right here, okay, just a small detail for you guys right here. If I take Matt, for example, I'm here, I'm gonna go to the side. Just forget about the choke for a second. If I take the hook out and hop back, now Matt can go away and start like rebuild guard. He can step over and then he step and then back. Okay, look, same thing. I free the hooks. Now he can still recover back, go right there. Really good drill as well. So that proves to you that he can reset the back if he has seat belt, not if he had the hook. Okay, so now let's do the opposite. So from here, I go here, I break this grip, comes right here. Now, if I'm here that way, so now he cannot reset the back because he has no seat belt. So for example, I break this grip, I go here, boom. Now from here, shoulders on the mat, so go back to the back. He can't. So that means what keeps the back is the seat belt. So that's your priority. The seat belt keeps the person in your back, plus they can choke you. So if you can insulate the seat belt very well, you're gonna be safe, okay? So this lesson is for you beginners. So try drill the back escape because you can be very successful on, okay? So, and also if you guys like to check it out, my instructionals at BJ Fanatics, I'm gonna put the link around the description of this video. So make sure you guys check it out. And also guys, if you like, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share with your friends. Thank you so much.